Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2705. I'm your host Arwin. And before we start this show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are on the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Like any support at all by anybody ever would be great. Really great. Because I really need it. My rent just got more expensive. Everything's got more expensive. I don't know how I'm gonna be making it through the month. Like from this point on, pretty much. Somehow I'm gonna have to manage. Right. Anyhow, please support your local Arwin. I need the help. Right. The weather today is kind of It was raining all day yesterday. It really was. Up until, well, not continuously raining, but it was like on and off raining and very clouded. Up until the late evening, I think, if I remember correctly, and then it kind of cleared up. So there was like a sunny sundown kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of changed around again. And now, yeah, there's some nice blue sky up there. And still lots of clouds, but also plenty of blue sky. And yeah, not everything's like restored. Because I mean, the rain has certainly been needed. Because it had been getting a bit drier in the last week, basically. So, but I mean, it could use some more rain. So if it rains later on the day, that would be fine. It might need some more of that. But yeah, it's just a beautiful day. It's a really blue, clear sky. No trails to be seen. A couple of clouds. There's wind. But I mean, it's still fairly warm. And it's just nice. It feels like the air cleared. And I have rested really well today. Yeah, and also like the whole thing that I had yesterday where it's like, ow, my fingers. Oh, is it rheumatism or something? It's not bothering me today. Like really, it's just seems to have been fixed. Whatever the hell that was. It's probably due to just weather changes. But yeah, I do have that in my family. My mother had it too. So my dad has it a little bit. He just really doesn't want to complain about it. Oh, for my dad, it definitely had it was an obstacle to him because, I mean, eventually it made his playing guitar kind of impossible because it just hurt too much. It's really sad because, I mean, that's like his profession. It's like what he was really the best at. So it's, yeah, that's kind of sad that happened. But I mean, he is like finding other ways to express himself, with music and all that. I think he's like into like drum-like instruments more. He doesn't have any issues with that. So he's just doing that sort of thing a little bit. Not super fanatically, but just this like side. Just being busy with that. I don't know, I haven't really spoken to him in a long time, actually, if you want to know. But yeah, sometimes I forget, like, oh yeah, I can't do the guitar anymore, and like, I don't know, he's just not complaining about it at all. Right, how the hell did I get to, oh yeah, weather change, my fingers, no more issues, right, so, yeah, I thought yesterday was a really good show, subject-wise. Haven't watched it back or anything, but I mean, it felt good. Shared a lot of stuff. Ideas. Still, it's like, I'm still pondering about, like, was Adam actually the first Nephilim? The way it's being described overall. Just, you gotta wonder. Also, I watched this documentary that really kind of blew my mind, put me in my place. Did I watch that yesterday? Did I already review that yesterday? I didn't put it in the title, so no. Okay, I might have mixed it up. But I watched the video that was recommended to me by somebody on on Discord. This thing's so yeah, wait, no, I did actually share about that. I'm pretty sure I did talk about that on yesterday's show, but yeah, it really impressed me. It's kind of interesting how basically Tartari is like, well, the Native Americans. And that, yeah, but I mean, I kind of already knew that a while back. I just kind of keep forgetting. And so, like, every time I say Tartaria, it's not actually Tartaria, because that's basically Indians, or Native Americans, if you will. Which is, like, an interesting history on its own. But, because it just makes me think, like, maybe... like, does that kind of make the Mongolians Tartarians, too? Because they have kind of very similar lifestyles. It's basically the last tribe out there that is still living in that way, really, on a large scale in the world. So they might be, like, the Mongolians might actually be the last Tartarians. Just an idea, right? But I mean, yeah, the architecture is definitely not built by them, and it wasn't all built even like around the mud flood era. It's not like there was a giant building spurt right before that disaster happened. In my mind, it kind of was. That's how I was modeling it, but that's just not correct. Apparently, these monolithic buildings, these even neoclassicists, they're even older. They're like way older. But it's just almost unbelievable. Like, yeah. That makes it like even more surreal in a way. If they're just actually peak classical era. Like, how were they able to build so much then? And also, like, that a lot of it, like, made it through all the different type of disasters that have happened, including what we know as the mud flood. But I mean, but there were others too. How did it all make it through all that? Right. But I mean, there is at least a difference between, like, because yeah, was it? It must have been still like post flood or post burning. It's kind of difficult, man, to really tell it all apart, because there is the thing where a lot of buildings are melted and burned and all that. There's a lot of that. Well, that is probably from the most ancient age, from the Age of Wonders. Or, yeah, peak Atlantean age, if you will. Because Age of Wonders is kind of the beginning of that, where large trees were still around. And then the end of that was really when the trees were cut down and like all this stuff got built. Giant temples just everywhere. And then, well, a lot of burning happened, but still a ton of it survived. And then humanity and the half giants kind of started anew. And then maybe it was just right after. Maybe it's like as soon as they recovered, they weren't just like toiling for centuries or something just to like try to build up again. Maybe they just like really recovered very quickly and just started building like maniacs. So yeah, because if they still had like a lot of the builders around and that knowledge, then they would have all been so peak effective and so quick at it that they could just like, oh, survive flood, wait till it's gone, and then just like, oh, whole thing has changed. Well, let's start building, and they just immediately go at it. And that could be how all these gigantic neoclassicist buildings got built. It was just like a bunch of builder experts that really know like building beyond our wildest dreams, masters, and they would have been also pretty old already, but just really good at it. And then they survived the flood, and then they started just like, okay, let's build, let's try to get something like the way it was kind of back. Then it just started building like crazy until they all got exhausted or died of old age or something. I don't know. But I mean, there's so many gigantic neoclassicist buildings around the world. And it's not like, it seems like it's just not been built gradually over time, but pretty much all simultaneously, like in a very short time span. Ugh. It's still a hard puzzle to fit. But yeah, I've still been thinking about it. I did bring that subject up yesterday, I remember. But still has me thinking a lot. Alright. But I think that instead of just like calling them Tartarian buildings, I'm gonna just call them neoclassicist buildings. Because that is technically what they are classified as with their style. And that also, well, it points at the classical era, which is called the classical era for a reason in style. And I mean, it is a signifier. So yeah, peak classical, but it might have been really early classical, like an early recovery, but like with enough stuff around, a world changed, like a whole bunch of like predators might have been like taken out of the way in the flood, in the big one, with of course like the titans and everything. So it changed everything and just probably gave a huge ton of room for like everybody that survived it. And I mean, it's not like only 100 people survived. Like in that sense, the Arca Noah story is, in my view, kind of fake, or rather a symbolic representative in a way, because there's no way that only that survived. Because also, if that were the case, then it's like, as just a few people building your numbers back, like, you're not gonna be giant architects, because you're literally like having peak architects and big building groups that can build monumental buildings. It requires a bit of population. But yeah, then again, maybe they survived the flood. Maybe but I mean, the flood was extremely high, and there would have been more signs of it. Because I mean, the flood seemed to have made the really old pre-classical buildings, not where it's also molten stuff, but it also like literally like turned them into mountains and left dust and dirt like on top of them, as it were. And you don't really find that with the neoclassicist building. So it must have been post-flood, but still pre-mud flood. And then, yeah, I mean, the way I'm visualizing it now, thousands, hundreds of thousands maybe, of humans survived. They were craftsmen. It was like basically a complete civilization. It wasn't all of it, because it would have been a lot of people. But still, a ton of them would have survived, and then basically pick things back up as quick as possible. Like basically just immediately go back to city building, which they would have already been into a lot right before the flood, which is probably building a lot. Then that happened, and it's just like, oh shit, everything is now completely different. We have to reoccupy it. Okay, let's start building again. And they just go really fanatic with it. But I mean, logically, that's not really what you would be doing, though, right after you would be adapting the scale of what you're building to the amount of population. And like these gigantic neoclassicist buildings, like they are definitely made to occupy a ton of people. I don't know. I have to think about it some more, man. It's very hard to make it fit logically. When the hell were these things built? Like, basically, when the hell was the Empire State Building built? And no, definitely not like in the 1800s or something. It's just no fucking way. Just forget about it. Also, because they would have had other issues that other buildings of those times in like the 19th century. No, it just wasn't built then. But when the hell was it built? Like, when was the world so crowded? How did it get so freaking crowded? Like, how did it even manage to pull that off? With, like, all the disasters happening periodically every few centuries. It's the giant famine and mini ice age and because I mean those periods like were super dramatic in what they did. Like entire like half giant chunks of continents just basically slided and sank into the sea. Entire islands just like Friesland. But I mean, that's just an example relatively close by. But like half of Brazil just sank. And also Australia apparently was a much larger continent, like way larger, as big as Asia, arguably. And just all of that, just like apparently there's even like there were volcanoes and shit, and really dramatically, and it just like completely sank. So Australia is like almost the remnant continent of a much larger continent that completely sank into the ocean that surrounded it. Like, that's intense. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, before the mini ice age, before all that happened, like the world just looked, was the layout of everything was just different. And I think also there was like a higher percentage of like land compared to ocean. It's not like there's more water now, it's just a lot of land sank under the ocean. And like, how the hell does that even work, right? I mean, oh, tectonic plates, yeah, right, oh yeah, no, dude, I've addressed that like years ago, even about what I think that tectonics, what is it like? I think it's all more like basically a giant set of pillars. You could even compare it to like the hexagonic like cone rocks of the giant trees, right? That pattern. I think it's more likely the Earth is actually that, and they are just somehow mobile sometimes. They can actually move around, which means that just basically, and yeah, land can technically, under the right circumstances, when it's like the whole thing is vibrating, can literally shift and just like sink down or get pushed up. And like how that even happens, like why some places go up, other places go down, like that is really mysterious. But I mean, it's definitely not just a bunch of plates that are like draped like that. Then it makes no sense that that happens. You just suddenly sink somewhere or suddenly rise somewhere, like, and then stay like that. It's not like, oh, a gas bubble formed or something and trapped underneath it, pushing it up. No, because that wouldn't then stay like that permanently for hundreds of years. That's ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, I've already conceived of that maybe the original continents, like all the land, all of this earth, might have been one gigantic tree at some point that in its entirety was cut down before the other giant trees that were, yeah, eventually sprang up of the Age of Wonders that were cut down by the fallen angels, or by the angels. That those are basically the offshoots of the one gigantic world tree that is basically just its roots left. If you think of the entire Earth like that, like all the continents, like they're basically cut off roots of one gigantic tree, then it kind of can make sense that it's all sitting on rods and that they can just like move around like that somehow. And that would definitely be a better model for like how the landscape can just suddenly change and shift around. So that's interesting to consider, at least to me. If you can follow what I'm talking about, it's kind of tough because I'm trying to just puzzle it all together. Like, what's actually going on? What is this place really? What you did? Where did it come from? What was it? right? Like mountains, the very concept of mountains it's weird, because in the standard human mind, a mountain is like, oh, that's a thing. It's a giant pile of rock that was just there. It's just there. Nobody really ever considers, like, but okay, what was it though? What mountains are just pieces of earth crust and they just get pushed up and then they're just like that with all the minerals and all the metals in it and everything and all the other weird anomalies? It's just no. There's no way that it's just a mountain. Like, what the fuck is a mountain? Oh, just a piece of rock. Yeah, but how does it get there? How does it get like that? I think that all rock may have all come into being in the form of petrification. I think that maybe rocks are like a secondary thing in this physical reality, that they've come about through the petrification of other things. And I mean, hey, if you're gonna go by the theory that the entire Earth used to be one monumental, colossal tree, like the whole thing, like all the continents are basically the cut-off roots of one colossal world tree. Who knows how tall it would have been. I mean, you could call her Mother Earth or something, because it's just like, yeah, one giant tree in a confine, the start of the simulation. But yeah, no mountains. Like, a mountain isn't a thing. It didn't used to be a thing. It was just like, you have the tree and you have the water. The giant world tree sitting in the water. It's obviously using the water. And then eventually it gets cut, and so you have a lot of dead material, like petrifying dead material, dirt. Because, yeah, that's what, when wood decomposes, it turns into dirt, into soil, and all that stuff. But if it petrifies, well, then it turns into a mountain. So that's really like how I'm thinking about, like, all of it now. But I don't think mountains originally existed. I'm gonna just put that in the title. I'm gonna blow up some dust, I'm sure. It's just consideration, and I think so. I think that mountains may have originally not even existed. It's all just petrified materials. And it makes, to be fair also, when you like go by that concept as a modeling guideline for like geology, I think that could make geology incredibly interesting. Right? If you just don't go with stupid ass heliocentric nonsense with like old tectonic layers and a lava core and it's just pushing the mountain, all that fucking nonsense, just like throw it in the bin and just go like, no, it was actually originally a giant tree. And everything is all basically petrified things from different phases. It's all petrified, then built into and like destroyed, demolished, and when it's completely demolished, it's like different states. There's the original living state, then there's the dead petrifying state, then there's the state where it gets like carved out into like, I don't know, temple complexes, living areas, caves. Might just be natural erosion that happens with caves, but it would have still been originally a living thing. And then it can also just then eventually it wears and you get the sand, you get the dirt out of it that then forms the soil bottoms that life live off right now, that the whole plant life lives off. But man, is that a fascinating consideration. I think I'm really onto something there. I mean, in a way, it's kind of creepy, I guess, if you just imagine that everything used to be like a living thing. It's like if you're mining, like, oh, you're mining a corpse. Yeah, that I guess that makes it less pleasant. But I mean, it's still really magical, though. Like, even if I'd be like mining some special type of like salt mines or whatever, just I'd be fascinated by the physiology of the materials. Like, how is it there? Like, how did this form? How do metal, gold, silver veins form, right? What's the patterns of it? I mean, these things are established and they can be mapped out by the experts. And you'll probably just start to recognize physiological aspects of like, oh, this is probably a petrified arm or a liver or a head or something of a big thing. Maybe a humanoid giant, maybe some other thing. Like, who knows? There could have been like just a ton of enormous creatures, especially in the Age of Wonders. Anyway, it's all pretty fantastical to think about. I have a ton of clips, I think. Did I have a ton? I have a whole bunch, though. Maybe not. Enough. And this map is going around. That's the same map that was basically the main focus also in that documentary video. I did send the guy an email, by the way. He was also talking about wanting to go like on an Antarctica expedition. That was interesting because that's like after the Will Duffy thing. So he's like, I guess, considering doing real genuine exploring out there. He thinks that there is no ice wall in the sense that it's melted away, a lot of it, which is fascinating. I don't know exactly why he draws that direct conclusion, but it could absolutely be. Like, I don't think the ice wall is like this permanent thing even that much. And he also said that in his view, the supposed Antarctic ice wall is mostly what was formed during that miniature ice age. Which is a very interesting theory. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but the ice layers, it proves to different times. And like, oh, okay, I don't necessarily agree to that at all. But it's an interesting consideration that basically that giant amount of ice and the cold in Antarctica, that it really formed and maxed out during the miniature ice age, which is like the 1600s, 1700s. And it's not really being addressed historically because nobody really cared that much about the Antarctic regions. What was there? There was a lot there. I mean, when you take a look at those maps, the old maps, like what surrounded before it all got frozen. But yeah, Antarctica hasn't been frozen logically that long. There's maps from like the 1500s, what is it? Where it's not frozen. And there's just life, there's nature, there's living tribes and shit. And all kinds of animals. All over it. It's still like projected into a map projection where it's a ring. But I don't even think it is that. I just think it is the southern region, because when I look at the Earth map, I'm looking at a rectangular thing, and there's just this southern region, which has a ton of land masses, but it used to be even more, and a lot of it sank, and then most of it froze up, and that's why there is Antarctica now. It's all those old lands that didn't used to be frozen, they froze up during the miniature ice age. I mean, it does make sense. And it's supposedly melting, and it might be gradually melting, because it wasn't always there, right? It's not like through like climate change indoctrination and all that. It's always like been environmentalism, like, oh, the ice caps, oh, they've always been there, but if they melt, oh, we're all gonna flood. And but that's already, you're assuming it's always been there. What if it wasn't that long there for always? What if it actually formed very quickly by just sudden intense frost? And yeah, because if it's like it's land, it's suddenly super cold. Everything basically freezes over. And then, well, what if a lot of humidity just keeps coming by? It keeps raining. It keeps just freezing, sublimating. What do you call that? Where it's basically from humidity from vapor in the air directly freezing on, because it's so cold, it directly turns, it's no liquid state, it just immediately freezes into ice. Like, you can build a ton of ice very quickly that way, because just if it's just generally very humid in that region, if it was basically like a tropical region, and it on the maps it does kind of look like that it was actually tropical, so there's also high humidity. Well, if it then suddenly becomes super cold, but the humidity is still there, it's gonna like build the ice layer very quickly. It's just gonna keep building and building until just all the humidity is basically gone. It's all compacted in that ice. I think that could happen very quickly. And also, keeping that in mind, yeah, there's a good chance that when people go to Antarctica and they dig into the ice to try to find like this time capsule thing, right? This is very popularly used since 20th century. But I mean, how do you really know that it all did build up gradually, slowly? How do you know that with absolute certainty, and not just correlations, like misinterpreted correlations. Like, what if it all happened much more quickly and not like thousands of years apart or hundreds of years apart, but actually just like all together in a decade? What if it just like compacted on it much quicker? I don't know. There's going to be protests based on like that whole system, because they've been really using it a bit as a crutch. Like, oh, but we have the evidence of the time periods that it slowly froze over by digging those columns of ice in Antarctica. And then you can see, they can directly correlate, like, oh, see, there was supposedly this volcanic eruption in this time, and we see here, you can see that the ice is different. So that means it's from that. How do you know? Yeah, it just... Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the title too. Did Antarctica actually... Thanks for the Rogan's Up, whoever did that. Hope you appreciate the show. Did I think I may have forgotten to go through the date and the temperature and everything. Huh. Okay, well, 45 minutes in. It is Monday, the 27th of July, 2026. Dove right into it. It's 21 degrees Celsius, 68% humidity, 19 kilometers an hour wind, 25% precipitation. And yeah, tomorrow it's gonna shoot up to 28, and then Wednesday 33. So Wednesday it's gonna be particularly hot. Then what? Thursday 27, and then Friday back to 22, and then Saturday 25, Sunday 28. What? Why does it keep just doing this? The temperature, it's just nuts. The back and forth. Like, are they just trying to make us get colds and shit? This is weird. It's just... I mean, it's fine. Like 33 degrees Celsius, like as a peak heat, that's fine. Like, that's okay with me. It shouldn't really be going up beyond that, because then it actually really becomes uncomfortable. But man, is it like swinging around so quick? Like, that is kind of weird. Not that I should be worried about anything. It's just kind of weird that it's doing that. Like, up, oh, hot, oh, moderate, oh, hot, oh, moderate, oh, hot, moderate. Okay, I'm not used to that. Usually it kind of grows to a certain temperature, and then it just like sticks around for a while, with usually sudden dip periods where it then gets really rainy and stuff, and then it shoots back up, but never like up and down, up. I've never seen that. It does seem to be doing that now, this month. Huh. Right, so yeah, there's the weather. Really late into the show. Just got really distracted by the subject, which is a good thing. This is better than me just staring at the screen like, oh, I don't really know what I want to talk about. I definitely know what I want to talk about. And I just did. Oh man, this was nuts. That was nuts. Anyway, I got a ton of clips. I think like I've just treated this Antarctica. Why is it Antarctica? This is I misspelled the title. Yeah, but a ton of clips. And there's like more of these videos now. It's just one after another. Some of them I'm just not really impressed because I think that they're too much based on like the wrong historical perspective. Just think, oh, they were this. Like, no, I don't think so. This one is really interesting though. Constantinople in 5057. So that's basically right before the mud flood. I don't know if they even kept that in mind, but it looks pretty amazing. So let me share this clip. I'm gonna big screen it.
Bu kumaş ne kadar güzel.
Evet, gerçekten çok zarif.
Desenleri mükemmel.
It's basically peak Ottoman Empire. It was pretty amazing.
Ahmet dün gece nöbette uyudu. Komutan duymasın. Merak.
Bu yemek çok güzel olmuş. Evet, ellerine sağlık. Çocuklar da beğendi. Amazing. Like, I like these types of it. It's just great. And there's like, they just keep pumping them out from all kinds of periods of time. It's pretty fascinating. Here's a whole bunch of great pieces of wisdom from Bruce Lee. Maybe I'll play that later. Just first, let's do this. Like, this one is really freaky. I did not expect this at all. I mean, I've seen some weird shit like with like crazy books trying to encourage gay sex with children and all that, like children's books. Really fun. I mean, we've all seen, well, not lit. I've heard of those. I've not actually seen it. I just know that was there. It had a ton of controversy. Well, this is just like, what the fuck? Taking it to another level. But yeah, just check this out.
It's been a long time since I did this.
3
Probably
minutes.
tell where I'm at. Wally World. I don't know how long it's been since I came down the book section of Walmart. It's not real big. I want to show you something. This is insane. All right, check this out. You're not even gonna believe this. So as you see, all the romance novels and everything, look here. Fairy tales, there's the Bible, cosmic alchemy, a coloring book.
I would not be surprised if like Alex Jones is gonna play this video too, because it is right down his lane, this kind of thing. But Jesus, man, like, it's just watch.
Book of Celestial Magic. Have romantic coloring books. That's not enough. Right next to fairy tales has been hotel. Look at this first. That is, many times you'll see people depicting, that is angels.
Yeah.
Ezekiel's wheel within a wheel. Check that out.
Yeah, it's
This is
Enochian
in
angel.
hell. But obviously, coloring is also for kids.
I mean,
Look
that's
what you
pretty
can
cool.
design.
But then,
Design your own center. What? Yeah, this is all about him. But wait a minute, there's more. Design your own overlord. Coloring book. Look at this. Isn't this great for kids? What is she doing? Is she? I'm sorry, I didn't even see this earlier. Is this not?
yeah,
what is she doing?
children's coloring books.
So remember, we've already had design your own overlord, design your own center. What about this? This is two girls making out. Design your own cannibal.
Yeah.
So this is Walmart now.
Yay, children's coloring book. Why do you want to draw your own cannibal? Because that's a thing now, apparently. It's fun. Yay, eating your own kind. Oh, don't you want to draw? Want to draw that? Just visualize a human being eating another human being and then make a drawing of that. It's really healthy for kids. What the hell? What?
This is Walmart. Design your own cannibal. Design your own center. Design your own overlord. Basically, semi-pornographic coloring books. Just 3 shelves above the Bible. Let me know in the comment section what you think.
Yeah. Bro. I just wonder, are there actually kids that are gonna draw that? I mean, they must be pretty fucked up then. I mean, maybe it's just a coloring books for Jews. So of a certain type. I mean, there were some guys in my past that I know would have loved this. And I mean, even when I was younger, I would have been pretty fascinated by this. I might have even drawn that shit. Because it's like, ha ha ha, this is naughty. Like people don't like this. This is creepy. It's naughty. Spooky. And I was kind of into it, but not really. Like, still just for the LARP. Like, just like I saw the whole Gothic scene, which I did actually partake in. I just saw it as like dark expression LARP, basically as a form of cultural therapy to get your inner demons to the surface to confront them and to deal with them. That's how I saw it. And then eventually figured out like, oh shit, there's actual real fucking Satanists that are also taking this ride, and they're just taking it all literal. They're not just LARPing it as therapy. What the hell? Yeah. But yeah, children's coloring books. Draw your own cannibal. What the fuck? Is this America? Is this America now? Yeah, it is. And I mean, I'm surprised it's not surfaced like a decade ago. Alright, anyway. I thought that was worth sharing. Blimmies. Old world, pre-flood, or pre-mud flood even. Blimmies are amazing. Like weird other form humanoids. And I mean, you could say, they are the fallen whatever mutants. Like, how the fuck do you know? How the fuck do you know that they're not just other original creatures? Like, what are the ant people mutants too? They're all fallen angels. I mean, that sounds like bullshit. If they're like a civilization, a people that have knowledge and can actually sustain themselves over longer times, then how could they be mutants? If it's like any type of mutants, well, they have trouble procreating, like logically, directly, naturally. They would have trouble surviving in general. Like, they wouldn't have their own population that could be like civilized. That's no way. So I don't think like I don't think that they are like, oh, they're offspring of the fallen ones, they have to be exterminated. No, I think that's just another bullshit excuse to just claim everything for yourself. I mean, let's play that for a bit.
They tell us they're nothing more than just myth, despite the fact they have been depicted by nearly every culture and civilization since as far back as the 7th century BC.
They're weird.
Now, what are the odds that all
but
these
I want them back
civilizations
too. If we're gonna
from
get
all
giants
corners of the
back,
world,
then all of
with
it.
no communication allegedly between each other, all time and time again depicted these same creatures, put them on their maps, mini maps depicting not just Blimmy, but many other mythical creatures. Well, creatures we've been told are nothing more than a myth. They even found tablets, like the Ostrakian tablet, which has depictions of the Blimmy's language. These artists, for hundreds and thousands of years, all across this realm, depicted exactly what they saw. Even the Greeks and Romans spoke in much length about the kingdoms of the Blimmy. But whatever happened to the Blimmy, and so many other creatures that we were told are just myth, but found so much evidence supporting otherwise. When humanity got bored of fighting each other for their differences, they turned their swords to the others, determined to pillage and conquer this world, all for our own. As seen in this painting and many other paintings, it wasn't just the Blimmy that we wiped out. Humanity's bloody history is nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
Makes me think that maybe Humpty Dumpty might have been a Blimmy, right? Like even the Eggman, it looks kind of ridiculous, right? Could have been just kind of a fat Blimmy. Seriously. Think about it. What if Humpty Dumpty was just a fat Blimmy? That was really annoying. gonna put that in the title. It is kind of a funny thing. How do you spell that? Blemier. Why not? Oh yeah, the two ends. No, let's not do that. Alright, hope everybody's appreciating this show this Monday. Hope you're having a good day. Wow, the wind's really blowing out here. Right. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, going through the old maps. That one old map. Like, there's so much on that one map that people are, like, picking up on. So I hope to bump more into these types of videos.
Why are they showing a canal on this 1587 map here?
Yeah.
Can someone please explain this to me? It's pretty interesting.
That same map.
1587 map. No ice. Crazy drawings. Bird carrying an elephant. Got this crazy character in the seas. But why do we see this canal here? Please explain that to me. Porto Gamo, Porto de Gamo. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyways, this map has a lot of wonders in it, like that. Here's when you see the city of Mexico, and when it was surrounded by water. That's pretty amazing too, isn't it? And then also, there's so much more going around, as you can see. Many different crazy depictions of creatures and regular animals too. If you go around, you'll see all kinds of craziness on this map. Along with mermaids.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there.
Griffins.
But yeah, what he's showing here also, that's that map. See, all
More
that
big birds.
land, it didn't used to be frozen.
There's somebody riding a seahorse.
Right?
And then here, I'll turn it.
If Antarctica was frozen for such a long time, then why was it depicted in the map from 15 something? I think it was. Where it's just noted as green and inhabited.
Got a cyclops in here. Don't worry, there's more. Don't know what's going on there. That one's interesting too, though. And then we'll leave you with this right here. Thought that was kind of cool. And if you'll notice, there's no ice anywhere either. Like, check it out. No ice around any of this. What a cool, crazy map.
Yeah,
We
so
could dive into this
that chunk that you're seeing right here, let me big screen it. This chunk, this is Australia. It's right here. This was all of it, and yeah, west and east, all that, it sank down, and the shard of that is actually New Zealand. So New Zealand apparently used to be one part of the same landmass of Australia. It's just fascinating.
making for hours. Done many videos and I'll do many more because it's such a cool map. And as always, thanks so much for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for being a part of this, thanks for following, and always stay curious.
Yeah. Let's see what Bruce Lee had to say. It's a cut. It's a quick cut set of all kinds of really wise things Bruce Lee was saying. Like, they all do make sense.
Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and they cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way you speak.
That's literally what Owen Benjamin says too. But Owen Benjamin gets that Bruce Lee is pretty epic.
About yourself and you can change your life.
That's something, Bruce. Beautifully put.
Why do many great journeys feel lonely?
Because true growth is personal. Not everyone can follow the path meant only for you.
Why do people overthink instead of act?
Overthinking delays responsibility. Action exposes truth faster than thought. Not every battle is meant to be fought. Some are meant to be outgrown. Maturity isn't force, it's restraint. Knowing when to step back is power.
Why do people struggle to move forward?
Because they hold on to who they were. To grow, you must release the old version of yourself. You can't cling to yesterday and expect today to unfold.
Why does success often feel empty?
Success without alignment creates emptiness. Achievement satisfies goals, not meaning.
Fear distracts people. How do you turn fear into focus?
Face fear directly. The moment you stop running, fear becomes energy you can control.
What's the hardest opponent?
Your own ego. It speaks loud, it reacts fast, it wants to win every moment. But growth begins when you can check yourself.
Why do humans...
The most amazing thing about it is that he just managed to compact so much into very short sentences, and that's really impressive. It's very refined answers. It's very carefully thought through, in a way. Very carefully formulated, if you will.
Humans resist change, even when it benefits them.
Change threatens identity. People protect familiarity, even when it causes pain. Peace isn't found, it's allowed. When you stop holding on to what disturbs you, it shows up. Quiet, natural, already there.
How much power do thoughts really have over a person?
Your thoughts shape your reality. If you don't control them, the world will control you instead. You won't always feel confident. Some nights you'll feel uncertain. That doesn't mean you're off track. It means you're stretching. Growth feels unstable before it feels strong.
How do you stay centered when life feels overwhelming?
You don't fight the noise. You return to what's solid. Your breath, your balance, your position in the moment. When you are grounded, decisions become simple.
Why are people so afraid of being judged?
Judgment threatens self-image. When identity is built on approval, fear becomes constant.
What keeps you steady when everything is moving fast?
I return to the body, the breath, the balance. Balance first, then timing. When I'm grounded, nothing rushes me. From that place, action becomes clean.
Why do people struggle to stay disciplined?
Because they look for motivation instead of structure. Discipline is built quietly through repetition. When discipline is present, confidence follows naturally. When pressure shows up, most people hurry. I don't. I give things a moment to settle. When I do, the right action becomes clear, without force. Let it settle.
I mean, what can even add to that? It's all just true. Very simple. Yeah, his entire principle is like the ego and the mind, it overcomplicates things on purpose to distract you from the solutions, which are actually really simple. It's just genius. I mean, in a way, it is like an Occam's razor type of psychological approach. It's really smart. Alright, anyway, yeah. Bruce Lee. What a character. A great character. At this one. What was that about? I cannot make out what the hell this means. Well, we'll see why I put this here.
You faced your shadow, did the healing
Oh
work.
shit. Yeah, this is 26 minutes. I might not play all of it.
And now you have absolutely no motivation left. Carl Jung discovered this.
Yeah, another Carl. When it's Carl Jung, it's gonna be like 26 to 35 minutes long, typically. And they're all very good. But man, it does take up a bit of time. I'm probably not gonna play this whole thing right now. Hope everybody's been appreciating the show. I think I've been doing pretty good. Okay. Whatever. That's fine. I was expecting a package to be delivered today, but for some reason they couldn't. I didn't hear any bell ring, but it's gonna be there tomorrow. No hurry. Don't need it immediately. Right, I hope everybody's having a really good day. I mean, I'm doing pretty good. Just like there's 2 full-blown organic dinners, like the olden times. Like they've really done me some good. I actually feel like more of that. But yeah, I can't just be careful spending my money, or I'll run short again. in like 3 weeks. So yeah, I mean, any support would be incredibly appreciated. I really do need it. Hope you're liking what I do. Right. Jesus. Okay, I don't know about this. It's poison in the waters in the US. They're basically saying abortion drug is in certain tap water in some cities in the US. Like, what? It's not like everywhere though, but like that's pretty messed up. How the fuck did it even get there? Like, did they just put that in there? Or is it like recycled water and they haven't managed to filter it out? I don't know. I'm not gonna read into it right now. That's pretty messed up though. I mentioned this yesterday. There was some supposed parade ramming in Berlin, and he was still on the loose. Well, apparently they did get him, and they killed him in a police shootout. So. Sorry, I'm just doing some administration thing right here. Where's this? Yeah. Almost done. Yeah. Alright, that's done. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break and I'll be right back, and I'm probably gonna round out the show. I hope you're all appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you do. Be right back in 2 minutes. And I'm back. Right, okay, I guess nobody's showing up in my Rumble chat today. Oh well. Bro. Okay, XX is acting really weird. The fuck is this? It's acting really weird. Something went wrong. Like, really? It keeps happening. Okay, X is apparently having some technical difficulties. I'm sure it's going to be corrected. That's kind of weird, though. Anyway, yeah, so definitely no scrolling today. But, yeah, I mean, I've talked about a ton of stuff. And I mean, this is basically the putting it together phase again with the new perspectives. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. It definitely requires more back and forth discussions on my part. I'm gonna see if there's gonna be people that would be willing to talk about it on Discord. Because there's just still a lot to figure out. Alright. Anyway, yeah, clips were pretty good. Right. So yeah, rounding out. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, Follow me here on Rumble and here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. Please also support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, gifts and go. Links are on the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. If you really use it, please support your local Arwin. That would be great. I really need it. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2706. Tuesday, hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of this Monday. And yeah, until the next video,
derp.